That is a weird filter effect from the street light. But anyways, I'm out here on a walk late at night, and you can't tell, but the stars are absolutely amazing. It is windy and freezing cold. And it just reminds me of this time I was in Joshua Tree in the desert, where it was also the stars were amazing, freezing cold. And I spent the night out there camping, and it's like this feeling I'm trying to recreate from that experience. And it's like this ego death as you realize how small you are and that you're just on this little marble zooming through the cosmos. And it's hard to put yourself into this mindset unless you have the cold, unless you have the wind, unless you have the openness, which I think is just, I don't know, not having any cover nearby, like, makes you feel extremely vulnerable. The wind, the weather, the cold makes you realize like how fragile all this is and how freaking amazing and beautiful it is that this has ever actually come to be in the first place, and what a miracle society is today. But I feel like that's the feeling I chase, not necessarily chase, but try to recreate in my own head every night when I go for walks. And the colder, the windier, and the more open the space is, the better. I mean, right here is not that good because we have the street light over there, we have a house behind me, I'm on a street, but you get out in the desert, you get on top of a hill, on top of a mountain, and I imagine that's what it's like when you're on like a sailboat in the middle of the ocean at night. You really get a sense of the cosmos, of how small you are and how interconnected everything is, and how, like, I've been thinking about that. I've been thinking about like how it must have felt to be one of those people on the Mayflower, and really trying to like recreate it mentally in my head to experience the emotions that they had. And I can somewhat do it when on some of these backcountry roads there's no houses around, no lights, it's dark, it's windy, it's cold. I mean, granted, I have a jacket on and a phone in my pocket, but sometimes your imagination plays tricks. You hear sounds, you hear things, you think there are predators in the woods, which there are, because I'm out here in a rural town. But it helps put you back into the mindset of the people who initially came here in the first place and settled it. And through doing that, I feel like I'm connecting with my ancestors, connecting with history, and getting a deeper appreciation for the fullness of what humans can experience and overcome. Because, I don't know, there's not really any, like, we've mapped the world for the most part. I mean, I guess going to outer space could give you a similar feeling, and being on the International Space Station, I mean, imagine being there is like such a feeling of like bliss, and like the level of introspection you would have being out there and literally seeing how small everything is would be amazing. But I don't know, I do want to do that someday. I want to go to the ISS, I want to orbit the Earth and look at it. But for right now, I'm making do with going for walks at night in the cold on open country roads, so I can try to feel the feeling that they must have had sailing across here, founding it, the uncertainty, the fears, and you kind of try to like picture it and recreate it in your imagination, and having your environment as close as you can get it really helps with it. I'm also going to be reading some of the journals, the diaries of the founding fathers, pioneers, and early settlers, because when you think about it, like, these people literally left their homes, left their family, jumped on a boat to a land that they'd only heard of, and decided, F it, we're going to settle here and make it our home. Don't know what the natives are like, don't know what wildlife they have, don't know what's there. Like, basically suicide, like literally basically suicide in terms of accepting your own death and they made a go of it and they survived. Like, a lot of early Western settlers, they died. When they went west, they died. But they were chasing, I don't know, their dream of independence and of freedom that founded the United States. That's the spirit of the country. And I feel like that spirit has gone away to some part today because of how settled we are, of how, I don't know, at least in New England, I don't feel it that much. And something I'm looking more into. Anyways, peace out, be safe, give this a try, dress really, really, really freaking warm, man. And carry a big stick. There's dangerous shit out there.